China's population will only be 1.41 billion people, down 2.08 million people compared to 2022. Statistics show that 9.02 million children will be born in China in 2023, down 5.6% compared to 2022. The same period saw 11.1 million deaths in China. So the number of deaths is greater than the number of births. Thus, for the second consecutive year, China's population has negative growth. This is also the second consecutive year after many years that the number of children born in the year has not reached 10 million people. China is currently the world's second most populous country with more than 1.4 billion people, but it could drop to 525 million by 2100. Other problems. In addition to the problem of population decline, China also faces gender imbalance in its population structure. Data from the State Bureau of Statistics of China show that, as of the end of 2022, there were a total of 722.06 million men and 689.69 million women in the total population. There are 32.37 million more men than women. Gender imbalance leads to a situation where many men cannot find a partner and cannot have children. The age of first marriage is also continuously increasing. If in the 80s of the last century, the average woman got married at age 22, by 2020, the average woman will get married for the first time at age 26.3 and give birth for the first time at age 27.2. Notably, the proportion of women without children increased rapidly, from 6.1% in 2015 to nearly 10% in 2020. The level of willingness to have children among women of childbearing age continued to decrease, especially in the group 9X and 2K generation women. Why is China's population decreasing? This demographic decline is considered a consequence of the one-child policy implemented in the period 1980 to 2015, causing many couples to only have one child, or even no children at all. In 2023, India will surpass China and become the most populous country in the world. Population decline has occurred in other developed East Asian countries such as Japan or South Korea. This situation could hinder China's economic growth, as the proportion of the working age population plummets. Encourage childbirth. Recently, many localities, especially large cities in China, have continuously issued policies to encourage childbirth, such as childbirth subsidies, child support subsidies, and increased support for housing security for children. The couple gave birth to many children. The Tibet Autonomous Region issued a new plan to encourage childbirth, in which officials and employees who have a third child can take leave with full pay and a bonus of up to 1 year. Areas with altitudes above 4,000 meters above sea level can take up to 1.5 years of leave, and husbands are also entitled to 30 days of maternity leave. Both spouses are entitled to 15 days of leave/year until the child turns 3 years old. Notably, a series of cities have issued policies to directly subsidize people with money for their second and third children and provide support for raising and caring for them. Typically, Hangzhou City, Zhejiang Province supports 5,000 yuan, $687, for women giving birth to their second child and 50,000 yuan, $6,900, for women giving birth to their third child. Yunnan Province supports 2,000 yuan, $275, and 5,000 yuan, $687, for women giving birth to their second and third children, in addition to monthly subsidies and insurance for children up to 3 years old. Other localities such as Jinan, Changsha, Shenyang, and Harbin also issued similar policies to encourage people to have children, contributing to improving the birth rate. Ethnic groups and languages in China. China officially recognizes 56 separate ethnic groups, the most populous ethnic group being the Han people, accounting for about 91.51% of the total population. The Han people are the largest single ethnic group in the world, constituting a minority in Tibet and Xinjiang and outnumbering other ethnic groups in the remaining provincial-level administrative units. Ethnic minorities make up about 8.49% of China's total population. China has 292 existing languages. The most common languages belong to the Chinese branch of the Sino-Tibetan language family, including Mandarin, native to 70% of the population, and other Chinese languages, Wu, Viet, or Cantonese, Min, Shan, Kam, and Hakka. Mandarin is a form of Mandarin based on the Beijing dialect, which is the official national language of China and is used as a common language in the country among individuals with distinct linguistic backgrounds. Chinese characters have been used as writing for Chinese languages for thousands of years, enabling speakers of mutually incomprehensible Chinese languages and dialects to communicate through writing. In 1956, the Chinese government introduced simplified characters to replace traditional characters. Chinese characters are Latinized using the pinyin system. Population concentration is uneven. The population is concentrated in the east, the coastal area and also the basins of large rivers. Western China has three major natural barriers that make it difficult for people to live there, even if they wanted to. Those are the Gobi Desert, the Taklamakan Desert, and the Tibetan Plateau, respectively. The desert is too hot during the day and too cold at night. Whether it's Gobi or Taklamakan, it's the same. The plateau is also not a suitable place for residents to gather in large numbers. And no matter how much traffic improves, getting around is still difficult. Among these are two particularly important, and extremely important rivers of China, the Yellow River and the Yangtze River. Both of these rivers flow east. Its downstream is where most Chinese people live. Humans have long lived around rivers where there are abundant water sources and nutrients for food, production, transportation, and rivers are associated with all aspects of life. Those are the rich, fertile, flat plains. And especially the Yellow River, the birthplace of Chinese civilization known to all mankind. Chinese civilization is one of the oldest and most complex civilizations in the world. Starting from the cradle of the Yellow River, the ancient Chinese built a brilliant civilization, with the first states of Xia, Tuan, and Zhou. Large metropolises, bustling cities, and wealthy localities are concentrated in the east. It is also where there are seaports, convenient for China to connect with the whole world. History has proven that the Silk Road on land was also replaced by the Silk Road on sea. And history is still continuing like that with the Chinese people. And the recent information also ends today's story. If you find the video interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to support, as well as to receive the earliest notification every time our video is broadcast. For now, goodbye and see you again.